tableta o su dispositivo móvil, las opciones son algo diferentes. Tienen que tocar su pantalla y buscar la opción de los 3 puntos que dice más o more. Seleccionamos nuevamente interpretación de idiomas o language interpretation y luego seleccionamos el español. Le damos silenciar el audio original si no quieren escuchar 2 voces a la vez y al final la opción que dice finalizado, terminado o listo. Si tienen alguna dificultad para unirse al canal de interpretación, nos hacen saber por el chat para poder ayudarles. Ahora voy a dar las mismas indicaciones, pero en inglés. Hello everyone, today we'll have interpretation available if you need it. If you're joining from a computer, at the bottom of the Zoom menu, you will see a word-like icon that says interpretation. You have to select that and then you will select English so you can hear any comments or questions in Spanish translated into English. And if you're joining from a tablet or your phone, you will have to tap your screen. So look for the 3 dots and then you will select language interpretation, you will select English, and at the end, you will select the option that says finish or done. If you have any issues, please let us know in the chat so we can help you. Thank you. Thank you, Liz. You can put me in the channel now.
This is Liz. Thank you so much, Diana and Tanya. I will give one moment as we put Diana in the interpretation channel, and I will wait for a quick thumbs up once we know that everyone is all set up. So I will just pause for another moment. Okay. I see a thumbs up. So hopefully everybody now is able to select their interpretation channel. But as Diana mentioned, if you are having any trouble at any point throughout the night, please do let us know and we are more than happy to help you troubleshoot any of those issues. So we will keep moving through our housekeeping slides. Here you see our typical naming conventions. As usual, we ask for all of our CSC members to label yourselves with your Zoom name and including the letters CSC in your name. And for residents who are a part of our stipend distribution program, we also ask that you indicate that with the letter R. And we always mention that this is just extra helpful for us and our attendance tracking and making sure that we get those stipends out to you. For everyone else in tonight's meeting, if you are joining as an agency, we also ask that you include that in your Zoom name to help us keep track of who is here. And if you are joining as a member of the public, we also ask that you put the letter P in front of your name, and that'll let us know who to call on when we have our designated points for public comment throughout the meeting. This is a review of our virtual meeting etiquette. We ask for everyone to stay muted unless you are speaking. And a reminder, if you are calling in on the phone, you can press *6 to mute yourself. We also ask for everyone to raise your Zoom hand if you have a question or comment, and this helps us keep track of the order, who we should call on. And again, if you are calling in on the phone, you can raise and unraise your hand by pressing *9. And one final reminder here for our residents in the stipend program to stay on for at least 75% of tonight's meeting to be eligible for that stipend. Here we have a review of our group agreements for productive discussion and respectful dialogue. Everyone has agreed to help us achieve our meeting goals by focusing on solutions, opportunities, and productive dialogue. This includes letting everybody participate by stepping up if you tend to not talk so much, and also stepping back if you tend to take up a lot of space in these meetings. We just like to mention that because it is such a big group that we have here, we really do want to make sure that we are hearing from everybody. And a reminder to be civil and respectful, knowing it's okay to disagree as long as we do it with empathy. We also ask for folks to stay on point and on time, and please keep your comments brief when possible to allow time for others to participate. Next, we have all agreed to attack the problem and not the person, and this includes respectfully challenging ideas and never attacking that person themselves. Lastly, we all agreed to seek common ground. Building consensus and finding shared values will help us all achieve the best results. On this slide here, we have the agenda. We'll have our usual welcome and introductions in a moment, followed by a review of our action items tracker. And then we will hear some updates from our Caltrans representative before we have a discussion on the Clean Air Rooms program. Then we will move to our usual standing updates before we wrap up with our final public comment. So I will stop sharing my screen and just want to welcome everybody again to our 53rd Arvin and Lamont Community Steering Committee meeting. Just want to appreciate each of you for continuing to make time to join and engage in this very important space. At this time, I am happy to invite our co-leads to share some opening remarks. I know I saw Bianca. If you are here and would like to unmute, as well as Cesar, feel free to share some opening remarks at this time. And I know I saw Bianca earlier, but maybe she hopped off. So I think we can make some time a little later for our co-leads, and at this time we can move to inviting our Air District Representative Stephanie for some welcoming remarks.
Thank you, Liz. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Stephanie Ng, and I am the Director of Community Strategies and Resources here at the Valley Air District. I'm so excited for tonight's meeting. You all in the last meeting really decisively and unanimously let us know that you really support opening up the purifier program. So we're really excited tonight to discuss opening up the program with you. And I also wanted to share a huge thank you to Jason from Caltrans, who has diligently been coordinating updates to share with you all in tonight's meeting as well. I know both of those things are really high priority topics to you all. So looking forward to tonight's meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. This is Liz. And at this time, I am happy to move us along through our agenda to our review of the action items tracker. And just as a reminder, we like to take this time at every meeting to review the action item tracker to make sure that the CSC is staying engaged and up to date on any recent progress made towards your suggestions in these meetings. And after I pass it to Nancy, she'll have a chance to review this tracker with you all, and we will have a couple minutes to take any clarifying questions that you may have about any of these action items. And if anything needs any follow-up, we will do our usual practice of adding that to the action item tracker as well and having some follow-up at a later meeting. So at this time, I'm happy to pass it to Nancy to get us started on reviewing the action items.
Thank you, Liz. This is Nancy, and I went ahead and shared the action items in the chat. So in case you want to follow along or just look at it at your own time, I am going to go ahead and share my screen. And can everybody see that? Perfect, thank you. All right. So these action items are just a routine check-in for transparency and just to continue documenting what we need to follow up on. And these are primarily from the previous CSC meeting, but we do have 2 action item updates that will be from the April meeting. but we are first going to start off with the action items from last month. And so action item 52.1 over here. This one's in regards to an update on the recent spike in pollution measurement on Kern Energy's fence line monitor. And so the Air District is coordinating with Kern Energy to provide an update to the CSC. So we will be doing a check-in with them just to invite them to an upcoming meeting. Action item 52.2. To provide an update on outreach efforts for low dust nut harvesters. And so we are continuing to promote low dust nut harvester program through social media outlets, local agriculture agencies, outreach events, and through Air District's enforcement team. And so, of course, if there's anybody that you all recommend for us to reach out to, including like farmers, please, provide us with the contact information, and we would be more than happy to get in contact with them. And so, moving forward, the next action item 52.3, and this is in regards to the Department of Pesticide and Regulation. And so at the last meeting, we had a concern come up from one of the CSC members regarding potential signage to address community concerns regarding pesticide runoff in the canals. And we are currently still we're in progress of following up on this request, and we'll share an update when it's available. And then so the next two action items, these are actually from back in April. Our partner agency, the California Air Resources Board, CARB, gave a comprehensive presentation on enforcement and regulations. And so during that meeting, several action items were captured, including topics related to hot rods, racing cars, and additionally regulations concerning landfill emissions. And so Michelle from CARB was actually very kind enough to do her research and provide us with plenty of information for the outcome. And so this is very detailed information and has been included in this outcome section right here. And so I encourage everybody to review the materials that are shared. And as a reminder, you're always welcome to reach out to your CARB liaison, which is Michelle, if you have any questions or need further clarification with these action items that were captured. And so that concludes the action items from last month and April as well. And if anybody has any questions, please let us know right now, or feel free to write down your questions in the chat.
Thank you, Nancy. This is Liz. I'm not seeing any questions in the chat, but I do see Michelle, our CARB liaison, with a invitation for all of you to follow up with her via email if you have any questions, and also to hopefully see folks tomorrow at the in-person Arvin Town Hall event. And we'll talk a bit more about details for that event later. But I'll just pause for another moment and see if there are any questions coming up about those action items before we move on. If not, I think we can say thank you again, Nancy, for walking us through those items, and we can transition to our next update, which is from Caltrans. And just as a reminder, we have Jason here who will introduce himself in a moment, who is going to answer some questions related to some of the recent action items and general questions that CSC members have been raising in recent meetings. We know that folks have been very excited to hear updates on Caltrans's work. And so we are very excited to be able to have Jason here to answer some of your questions. And again, anything that we might not be able to answer tonight, we will be sure to record as an action item for follow-up at another meeting. And so I'm going to pass it to Jason to begin the update.
Well, thank you all very much. It's a pleasure to be here this evening. Just like to start out by saying the latest and greatest, right? So there's been a lot going on State Route 184 with the upcoming rehabilitation project internally with Caltrans, as far as getting that project advertised and awarded to a contractor. And I'm happy to say that that project was actually awarded to a contractor in August, which was a Griffith company, which is great to hear. So a contractor has the contract in hand for that rehabilitation project. Again, it's Caltrans works in post miles, right? So the post miles are basically post mile 1 through post mile 8 on State Route 184, which covers the community of Lamont and then also up to Fuller Acres, all that entire stretch. So again, the contractor has been awarded that project. So basically, at this point, Caltrans and the contractor are going back and forth, making sure that the contractor has all the supplies they need. This particular job has a lot of signage, right? A lot of new signage that needs to be done. That can take quite a while to get all of those materials put together, labeled correctly. That way, when they are in the field and they are working, things go smoother, right? So you're not waiting for materials. So that's what's happening right now, along with other responsibilities that the contractor has, subcontracting out to disadvantaged businesses, which you want to at least get a percentage of that. And this one successfully has a 20% disadvantaged business inclusion in this contract, which is great to hear. So as of right now, according to internal project management here at Contract, in terms of the contractor getting into the field, getting onto the ground and starting work on State Route 184, that's anticipated for this spring. Okay. So at first we were thinking closer to the beginning of the year, but it just took longer than anticipated to get that contract out and awarded. So, but rest assured, a contractor has it and they're going to start up this spring. The project itself, the scope of work or what is actually going to be done with this particular project. So it's a full-on pavement rehabilitation project. So the pavement will be removed. The existing pavement will be removed and completely new pavement will be put down. Curb ramps, throughout intersections, throughout the length of the project, curb ramps will be improved. Areas where curb ramps are needed, especially at areas where driveways are going to be improved to residences along State Route 184. You're going to see curb ramp work done there as well to basically tie into all the drainage facilities that are going to be built out there. So it's an relatively intense project in terms of its level of rehabilitation. So there's stormwater retention basins that are going to be added to take all that water that may normally end up flooding, in certain areas and low points, getting that water, off the roadway and into a retention basin to curb any type of localized flooding. Utility grades, right? So basically, if there's any issues with utilities sticking up too much or whatnot, those will be, matched with grade. Everything will be nice and smooth. It will be really fantastic out there. It'll be great looking. And then again, all new signage and a lot of new pavement striping, right? Bike lanes, sidewalk additions. There are bus bays that are going to be put in. And yeah, driveways, I mentioned that. So it's a relatively extensive project. It's going to take a good part of a year to complete this. So projected right now is actually 220 working days. So that translates to a year on the ground, right? So, and there will be traffic management. Caltrans obviously will do its best to keep things running as smoothly as possible. But again, from just a structural uh, rehabilitation project perspective, this one's pretty intense. So there's going to be a crew out there for a year working on the road. And then internally, as Stephanie alluded to, we've been working a lot, myself and Lorena Mendibles, who you may or may not remember, but Lorena is in charge of transit here internally with Caltrans. So Lorena has pushed hard for the new bus shelter there in Fuller Acres, and we're just really happy to report, that will be installed. But but there's a lot that goes into putting an object that wasn't there before into the Caltrans right away, right? So will it pose a safety hazard, or do utilities need to be removed? These are all questions that need to be dealt with as we're putting these types of features into a Caltrans rehabilitation project. So it takes a long time. And then, basically you have to come to an agreement on who is going to take care of that bus shelter. Are folks from Caltrans going to take care of that shelter, or is the transit agency? So there's a lot of agreements that have to come together. So those are the little details that Lorena and I have been working on with project management, in an effort to make sure that this happens out there on the ground. So that's going to be fantastic. And again, construction is going to start in the spring. The bus shelter itself is anticipated to be installed somewhere around the fall, basically a year from now, at some point in time, right? So that's the schedule on that. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of table. I've been, in terms of, the next meeting, I just kind of wanted to, throw it out there. I haven't been able, because I've been so kind of locked into State Route 184. I know there are some other projects going on, and I kind of want to do that justice. So I don't know if we want to put that on the agenda items, or, put it on the list for our next meeting, but I need some more time to dig into other Caltrans projects within the area, just to, so I can spend some time looking into those, because I spent most of my time just kind of going through the history of this State Route 184 project. So, but yeah, at this point, if there's questions, more than happy to answer any questions that people may have. Do I
Thank you
just
so
call?
much,
Yeah,
Jason.
whatever hands are. Yeah. If you want
I
to.
can support with that. And
Okay,
we have a
perfect.
few hands up already, starting with Mario. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to know on the subject on Fuller Acres are they gonna fix up the sides, put sidewalks on certain areas on Fuller Acres? And not only that, there's a certain spot in Fuller Acres that it really flooded. Are you guys gonna build that location higher like that the water won't be flooding that certain area?
Hey, hey, Mario, I know this is a big ask, um, and maybe that's something that I could take a field trip down there. But what I can do for you, Mario, because I have the plan set, right? The approved plan set for this project is almost 500 sheets of plans, right? It's very extensive. If you could help me, Mario, pinpoint these areas, whether it's through photographs or whether you want to, if you could get a map.
Maybe we could meet up and maybe we could go out there and take a look at certain areas. If some members of Fuller Acre would like to join us to explain what is needed out there, or maybe the plan what you guys have could benefit more information of people who lives in Fuller Acres. I would
Yeah.
love to join you and people from Fuller Acres to get a better idea what is needed out there.
So yes, so let me, and that's something that Lorena and I discussed, and maybe it is easier to do it in the field. The one thing I can say, Mario, right, is I'm going to have a plan set that was approved by Caltrans,
Yes,
and we can reference that plan set to what to those areas in the field, right?
yes,
Is what we can do. Okay.
yes.
So I will, and that's something that Lorena and I have we can totally do that, and let's just go ahead and plan on that, because I think that's the easier. And I have to be honest, I got, when I came into this thing, the way Caltrans works is kind of for the general public or anybody to be able to kind of implement ideas or anything along those lines, that comes at a certain point. But again, we can easily take that plan set here internally, go to the field and compare notes, right? And see what's going on and what you can anticipate out in Fuller Acres based on the approved plan sheet that I have. So I will work with Lorena on that. We'll get a field trip scheduled. We'll, obviously work through the group here and get that on, and get
Yeah,
myself and Lorena, maybe even a couple of engineers. I can't promise that, but at a minimum, I'll have the plan set to where we can look at it and go over what's going to be done out there. So yes.
I would love to be beside you on this project, because a lot of people from Fuller Acres been struggling to get light, get gutters, get streets and stuff like that. And I would love to, be beside Fuller Acres 100% to help them out to get what they need. Hopefully we get together and organize something with Fuller Acres.
Yes. No, we will make that an action item, and what I'll work with Lorena, and then, at worst case scenario, by the next meeting, we'll be able to have a date that we can pronounce, right? So we've got some time before construction begins, right? But I understand but that the key thing is to get together.
Thank you very
So
much.
yeah, of course.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate the collaborative spirit that you are coming with today.
Mhm.
We have a couple other hands up, and next is Francisco. Go ahead.
Sí, buenas tardes. Yo nomás tengo una pregunta. ¿Cuándo va a empezar la construcción acá en Arvin de la calle la South 8 y la Tejón?
Oh, I think I goofed that up.
Jason, did you select your interpretation channel? Did you hear that?
I need to select I sincerely apologize. I need to select Spanish, right? In
You would
interpretation.
select English.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I apologize.
It's okay.
Can you please repeat that, sir? I apologize.
Sí, nomás tengo una pregunta para él, que cuándo va a empezar la construcción de la calle en Arvin de la South 8 y la Tejón.
I did see, I apologize. I don't know that exactly. Let me make sure that's action item for the next meeting. As I was going through, I did notice a project in Arvin that is on in the shop program. So I'm gonna have to check that out. What were the cross streets? What were the streets that you mentioned, sir? Could you tell me that one more time? The actual streets? Was it
Sí, es
Tejon?
la South 8 y la Tejón, la South 8 y la Comanche, la banqueta.
Thank you.
And that's in Arvin.
Sí.
This is Stephanie.
Go
Sí.
ahead.
Thanks so much for your question, Francisco. And I actually, Jason, just to make sure that you're not, I think this is actually a question probably, and I see Christine's hand up. This is a question for the city, actually. So maybe
Oh,
we'll pass over to Christine.
oh, okay.
Gracias.
Go ahead, Christine. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I can answer that question. And my apologies, I'm a little under the weather. South A Street was bid out, and the city of Arvin, I believe, received 5 bids. Today, we opened the bids. So that will be going to council for council approval, likely within the next 2 weeks, so that we can award that bid. And Derby and Comanche are finishing up design, and we're hoping to have those go out to bid very shortly. I just had a communication with our city engineer this evening. So we anticipate those going out to bid, and that would probably be a 30-day process. And the same sort of thing applies where we'd have to open the bids, look at the costs, go to council for award, and then move forward. But that's where we're at. We are making progress. And I just wanted to let everybody know, and sorry to say I won't be attending the clean air event tomorrow. I'm really sick and I won't be able to get back to work until Monday, but I'm trying to participate here and let y'all know what's going on. Thank you.
Oh, pues muchas gracias.
Thank you, Christine. This is Liz. Hope you are going to feel better soon and appreciate the update that you just shared tonight. I think what we're hearing in common between the city and Caltrans projects is that these things take a long time and a longer time than I think all of us would like. But as we've heard, there are many challenges that need to be dealt with before these can happen. And so, again, really appreciate everyone's patience and all the great questions and engagement in this topic. I see one more hand up from Tim. Go ahead.
Hi, I had a question regarding, sorry for the echo, if you hear an echo. I had a question regarding, I'm on the Caltrans website and seeing the actual plans. I just wanted to know what are traffic looping detectors and park and ride lighting vehicle detection systems. And also, I see that you mentioned that you will only rehab the crossing of the railroads where the Georgia crosses into 184. That's the only one that mentions that it will be getting ADA compliant crossing walks.
Which very well could be the case. If things are already ADA compliant, then they'll stay as is. So that very well may be the case.
So
And then
what about vision impaired individuals? Most modern cities now have the crossing walks that make the noise for people that are visually impaired. Do those come to this project? And also, is the vehicle detection system the one that detects vehicles while they're waiting to make the turn on the cross lights?
it can be, certainly. And then also vehicle detection systems can be, although those are usually the loops. So you did mention loops as well, correct?
Yes. It says
Yeah.
loop traffic detection.
Yeah. So the traffic loop is going to measure the daily traffic coming through.
It's currently it's currently as we speak, 184 has 4 or 3 major stops in between what we consider Main Street of Lamont. During the day, they function perfectly where traffic can flow north to south and west to east. But at night, for some reason, the street gives preference to only north and south. And if you're trying to make a cross 184 to the west or the east side, you sit there for a while because the lights don't sense you or don't detect you, so they won't switch automatically.
Gotcha. So I need to talk to a traffic operations person about that. So basically, if you're trying to do you're coming from the west going east and trying to turn northbound, it takes forever at night,
Yes,
right? And
yes,
there's nobody going northbound or southbound. So it's yeah, like a lot of city lights are, but on the state highway system.
yeah. And when I thought of it, it's like, oh, maybe it just gives a preference to north and southbound lane or traffic due to the fact that that's heavy truck vehicles always, and especially at night. I was like, maybe it just gives preference to them. And then, but I sat there as an experiment, and it took a couple, like 25 minutes for the actual lights to switch. And the only way I could get them to switch was to turn on the high beams, the low beams to high beams to get it to switch.
Which could mean just a basic, probably even could be just a basic, adjustment on the vehicle detection system. So I can look into that. And you brought up the railroad, which I know this issue, one of the main reasons why this project had so much difficulty getting through the design phase was because of the railroad. So the plan set you're looking at only showed improvements near the railroad, or it didn't. Could you repeat that to me one more time so I can bring attention to that?
So where it mentions ADA compliance crosswalks, it only mentions the railroad. So as like I said, there is 3 or 2 other stops within the main, what we consider 184 and Main Street in Lamont, that have crosswalks from where individuals can cross from the east to the west side or the north to the south. And we're wondering, are those also going to receive ADA compliant signal lights and crosswalks, basically?
Okay.
Because on the actual project, it only mentions the Georgia Avenue and Edison Highway as this pedestrian crosswalks and American Americans with disability upgrades are being made to 2 railroads.
Okay. I see what you mean. Okay. So I'll get a tally on the intersections. Basically what's going on in terms of ADA upgrades at the intersection, especially with paying particular attention to the audible signals, right? Or excuse me. Yeah, audible signals for those who visually are impaired. Correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All right. And then also I'll get a good lesson from a traffic engineer about those vehicle detection systems and kind of the issues that are encountered along there.
Okay.
So those are two major things. And I know there was something else. I'm sorry. I get up into the weeds real quick when I'm talking about this.
Those are the only 2 concerns I saw as I was glimpsing on the Caltrans website for the actual project. I do see that you do mention flood prevention and flood prevention measures, and I think one of the things I've brought up in the past is that Miller Road and 184, for some reason, how the topography of that area is laid out, it sinks down several 10 feet down. So when rain season, especially heavy rain season comes in, that area floods and it cuts off 184 from the north side. So either both going north or southbound on the lanes, you can't cross it because of the rainwater. But I see on there that it does mention flood prevention measures and gutters. And yes. I think that's one of the things I've brought up in the past, that area becomes unusable for commuters.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I've written down action items, but I'm assuming those action items are written down here. Correct? Okay. So yes. I have a lot to get done, which is great, before our next meeting. But now that I have a 100% plan set, it makes things infinitely easier. So I'll start working, answering these questions that are posed to me that I can do internally. And then also, like I said, I'll get that field trip set up, because that is something that Lorena and I would like to do with the plans that we have for the folks in Fuller Acres. So
thank you so much, Jason. This
Really
is
appreciate it.
Liz. Yeah, I am sure the community also really appreciates the way you're showing up, so willing to engage and answer questions and follow up. So thank you so much again. And we look forward
Thank you.
to this continued collaboration.
All right.
So we
Thanks, everybody.
thank you. We can transition now to our next agenda item, and that is the Clean Air Rooms program discussion. And so for those of you who maybe weren't at our last meeting, there was a unanimous decision made by the CSC to reallocate funds to the Clean Air Rooms program, which was previously not available for Arvin and Lamont residents. And so after this decision has been made, now the Air District is able to start taking in all of your feedback and suggestions for the best kind of outreach that they can do to make sure that this money gets spent and goes directly towards benefiting residents in your community. So Sarah is going to give a presentation and we will have plenty of time to hear your feedback and any questions. Go ahead, Sarah.
Thanks, Liz. This is Sarah. Let me share my screen really quickly. All right. Well, hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. Today, I wanted to go over the Clean Air Rooms program. This is our air purifier program in more detail. And at the end of my presentation, I wanted to open it up to get some feedback from you all on where you would like us to do some more outreach and promote the program in your community. The Clean Air Room program was developed about 3 years ago to protect Valley residents from wildfire smoke impacts. This program provides residents with a free residential air filtration device that's equipped with a HEPA filter. These HEPA filters reduce air pollution by more than 90%. The goal is that you all and residents in the community can create a clean air room by closing doors and windows, kind of sealing off a room in your home. Oops, sorry, my screen went a little weird. 1 second, sorry. Okay, can you guys still see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I fixed it. Okay. So yeah, the goal is to create a clean air room by closing doors and windows and putting the air filter in a room that's hopefully shared with other members of the household as well. Hopefully setting up that clean air space just in case there is a smoke event in your community. During our last meeting, like Liz said, you all unanimously supported the reallocation of $250,000 from the heavy-duty truck replacement measure to open a dedicated clean air rooms program in the community. We just wanted to say thank you so much for that unanimous support. And since that last meeting, we've been working internally with our grants team and our IT team to hopefully launch the program in time for tomorrow's in-person town hall event that we will have at Faro Church. So currently, if you try to apply, it is closed because we're just buttoning up the last couple items, but our goal is to open up the application portal by tomorrow. And Nancy will send the CSC an email, once it's open, so you all can apply as well, if you don't join us for the event tomorrow. Since the program launched in 2022, we have distributed over 24,000 free air filtration units valley-wide to residents to use in their home. Currently, we are out of the valley-wide funding for the program. So right now, only folks that live within our AB 617 communities have the opportunity to receive an air purifier. And for you all, it is just once we open that program, you can go on the application portal and apply. So if you're out of the AB 617 communities, so like if you just live in Bakersfield, you wouldn't be eligible for this program at this time. So it's kind of a nice perk for the community. So as I said, to be eligible for this program, you do have to live within the AB 617 boundary, and you could not have previously received an air purifier from the district. And if you satisfy those requirements, you can submit an application, which will include a proof of residence document as well. A lot of folks submit their IDs, their driver's license. We've seen some utility bills, even cable or internet bills. And the proof of address is important as it's a way to verify that this device is going to an applicant that lives within the Arvin Lamont community. So it also ensures that we send the device to the correct address. Some folks could like transpose numbers when they submit the application. And so it's just a double check for us to just make sure that we're sending it to the correct place as well. I also wanted to mention that as of right now, we are not sending devices to PO boxes. So if you do have a PO box, you can still attach your proof of residence. And when you go through the application portal, you can just select to ship to a different address. And we can work with you to send it to like a neighbor or even your workplace. We can even send it to a like the Bakersfield district office so you can pick it up at a later time. So just because you have a PO box and we don't ship it there doesn't mean we won't work with you all. So we can definitely work to send it to a place where you can pick it up. I also wanted to mention that if you're not sure if you've applied or if you go through the portal and it's giving you an error or saying you're not eligible and you know you haven't received a device, just give us a call. You can call Nancy or anyone here at the district office and we will help you through the application. We have learned a lot for having this program open for a couple years, and we can assist residents, with applications over the phone. If you see us at an event, we can help you out. Even if you travel to the Bakersfield office and you want help in person, our team is here to help you apply, whether it be online through the portal, over the phone, in person, whichever avenue works best for you all. We can help you apply so we can get you an air purifier device. The most common way we see applications is through our Clean Air Rooms application portal. And here is a screenshot of the application portal. Once the program is open for you all, you can go to www.valleyair.org/room purifier. And like I said, Nancy will send you all an email as well with that link. So you don't have to remember it right now, but I just wanted to go here and show you what it looks like. So it pops up here with some, general information about the Clean Air Rooms program. And you would just click this green button that says apply now. I did want to mention that this portal is in Spanish as well and English. So I'll make this bigger. You can toggle the addresses at the top and it will change the language for you to just make it easier for you to apply. And earlier, I pulled an address, a random one off of Zillow from one of our other AB 617 communities, just to show you what it looks like when you apply. So let me type that in. So it'll start auto-populating the address, so you don't even have to type out the entire thing. You would just have to click your address. and click Check Eligibility. If it, it could also say, like you have previously applied for a device, or it can say, there's an error. If you do see any of those prompts, just give us a call and we can help you out. But for this one, they have not applied for a device. So I will click apply for them. I won't submit at the end, so they won't receive a device without their consent. I just wanted to show you what it looks like. So here you will put your name, and this is where I mentioned that if you would like it shipped to a different address, you would just click this box here and you would put a different address of where you want it shipped to. So your home address still has to be within the Arvin Lamont boundary, and then the proof of residence has to show, that you do live within the boundary. But like I said, you can ship it somewhere else. A lot of folks do this too if they've been dealing with porch pirates or packages going missing. They'll like ship it to their work. So we do see that as well. And then if you scroll down, it'll just ask you some questions: how many people live in your household, if you own or rent, some other household information, and then it goes into some demographic questions. These ones are optional. It's just nice for us to know about the community that we're serving. And then lastly, it talks about, this is a space where you can put your proof of residence document. So here, if you're on a phone, it's really easy because if you click this area, it'll just, it'll say, do you want us to go to your photos? So if you go to your photos, you can select like the PG&E bill that you took a picture of, or you can open up your camera and it can take a picture of your ID, your driver's license. So it's very easy to do. And then once that's uploaded, you will submit your, click here, click the checkbox and submit your application. So we wanted to just make it as easy as possible for you all to apply for this. And like I said, if you have any problems, just give us a call and we can help you out. And we have even, and I like to mention, we've even taken applications over the phone. So we like ask people their names, and then we have them email us a picture of their proof of residency. So, maybe they don't have smartphones or like iPads and computers, so we can even do it over the phone. All right. And now we're moving into outreach. So we have done a ton of outreach in all of our AB 617 communities throughout the Valley, including tabling, as you can see, at in-person events, whether it be back to school nights or different community events, even our replace workshops that Valley Can puts on. Sometimes we have a table there to promote our events. And during these events, we bring information about our grant programs that residents can participate in. Once the Clean Air Room program opens up, we can promote that one as well. We even bring our iPads and go through the entire application portal that I just showed you all with the residents so that they actually leave our table fully signed up to receive that device in the mail, mailed to their home. The air purifier program is, one of the many great grant programs that we have here, and it's a way for us really to get through the door and talk to residents about air quality in the community. I think, once people hear like, oh, free air purifier, they come to our table, and it helps us, reach more community members to talk about air quality in their community. I wanted to go over this outreach strategy that we have used in our other AB 617 communities to promote our Clean Air Room program. So this is actually a a postcard that we sent to residents in the mail. We sent it to a couple thousand residents in the AB 6 and 7 communities, and it has a QR code. So that they received that postcard and then hopefully, went to our website to apply or use a QR code to direct them to the portal. This was one of our successful campaigns for this portal. So this is one of the many strategies that we can take with your community to promote the program. And if this is something you all want to do, just let me know. Some of our other outreach ideas are listed on the slide. So we do some social media outreach that includes Facebook. Maybe you've seen us on Nextdoor. We also like connecting in person with residents, and that can be at school activities, at lawnmower trade-in events. We've been, going out to those and, with our iPads and walking to, some of the cars that are waiting to replace their lawnmowers to sign them up for the Clean Air Rooms program. We also do like that direct mail campaign, the postcard that I just talked about, or we can, provide flyers to community centers, food banks, churches, schools, any, business or organization that you all think that residents can go to. And then, maybe they see our flyer and then they apply for our program. So we have many different ways to reach the community, and we just wanted to open it up to you all to see where else we can or should be reaching community members once our program opens. So if you all have any ideas, we would love to hear them. I'll stop sharing my screen for a second.
Thank you so much, Sarah. I know that was a lot of information for you all, so definitely take a moment to digest and come up with any questions and especially feedback that you have around that big question of what are the best outreach strategies for your community. And I already see one hand up from Mario. Thank you for your patience. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got two questions on this. One question is, how about if people do not have no ID at all, or have ID and they lost their ID? Because my mom always used to lose her ID. That's why I'm asking. If she's older, she don't know where she leaves her stuff.
This is Sarah. No problem. We work with folks that don't have their ID all the time. We can get maybe a bill from her. So if she has like cable, internet, if she has a phone bill, maybe PG&E or SoCal Edison bill, just something that has the resident's name and then their home address. So
Okay.
it definitely doesn't have to be an ID. As long as it has those two pieces of information, we're good.
Okay. And number two, I would like to see the members of, to go out. I think they have a Halloween deal right here in Lamont. Maybe you could put a booth out there and maybe give out some information to the people from the programs that we have, like the lawn motors, the e-bikes, and the air filter.
This is Sarah. That's a great idea. I'll have Nancy reach out to you, Mario, to get more details about that event. We can look into, going out there and seeing if that's possible.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Mario.
Thank you, Mario. Great idea. And yeah, if others in the community know of any events like what Mario just shared, do feel free to let us know either in this meeting or sometime after. And Christine, I see that you just unmuted. Wanted to check if you had a question or comment at this time, or if that was an accident.
It was an accident, sorry.
No worries. I see another hand from Jesus. Go ahead.
For outreach events too, what came to mind, I think, and I don't remember if you guys had mentioned it. I think the high school is also doing like a trunk and treat similar to Lamont.
This is Sarah. Thanks, Jesus. We will look into that one. That reminds me as well, I do have on my list that we're looking into going to a health fair in Arvin on October 4th. If you all think that's a good idea, we're hoping that a couple members from our team can go out there to promote the program. We heard that it does have some good attendance.
Go ahead, Elvia. Or Juliet, Sabrina, or Jessie.
Quería preguntarle sobre el expendio porque no nos llegó en cheque.
This is Liz. Thank you so much for letting us know, and we will definitely follow up with you after tonight's meeting. So tomorrow, expect a follow-up from us. Thank you. I don't think I'm seeing any other hands. I do know that one of the specific strategies Sarah offered was sending out those postcards. Was there any specific feedback about that strategy? Anybody for sending out those postcards and think it's a good idea? Any feedback about that specifically?
And this is Sarah. We did do a direct mailer campaign, if you all remember, a couple months ago for the complaints to promote, how to file a complaint. So it would be very similar to that, just probably 3.5 or 3x5 inch card mailed directly to residents' homes. I think a couple of you all received that. So if we could do something like that, but instead of it being, how to file a complaint, we could do a, promote our clean air rooms program.
Thank you, Sarah. Yeah, I'm not seeing any questions or comments coming up in the chat, and I don't think that's a new hand. Go ahead, Stephanie.
Thanks, Liz. This is Stephanie, and I appreciate Sarah for doing giving such a robust presentation on all the things we do regarding outreach. What we've learned kind of through this process and working with community members is each community is different. They all, I think, have individual strategies that they think, will work better in their community. So you all as community members, definitely let us know as you're thinking about this and as we're starting to open the program, let us know any feedback that you have about how you think, this outreach will work best for your friends, for your neighbors, for your family. And as this continues, again, like Sarah said, we're trying really, really hard to get this opened up in time for the town hall event that we're having tomorrow at Faro Church. But again, once this program kicks off, as you all have events or hear about events kind of at schools or in the community, let us know because we definitely love to get out and share information on this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. I see one hand up from Mario. Go ahead.
Yeah, I got one more. If you could call the radio station, the Mexican radio station, and maybe give them some information. People who are working in the fields and stuff like that, they hear the radio out there, and a lot of information comes out if you guys send some message on the radio. Because I haven't heard one yet.
Thank you, Mario. I I think I saw some agreement from other CSC members with their emojis there. So it seems like that would be a great suggestion. Anything else coming up about strategies for outreach before we transition to our standing updates? And like Stephanie mentioned, this is, of course, not the last time to provide this kind of feedback. Not only do you have tomorrow at this in-person event, but the Air District is always available to talk with you outside of these meetings. I don't think there's anything else coming up for this item, so we can transition to our standing updates.
Yo tenía una pregunta, pero no pude alzar la mano, no sé qué estaba mandando, no sé si la puedo hacer.
Yes, go ahead.
Mi nombre es Joana. Tenía una pregunta. El programa, ¿verdad? Del aire está haciendo como los carros y todo eso para que no haya contaminación y me he estado dando cuenta que la contaminación en Arvin también es de que la gente no respeta y se mete por los files y hace una contaminación tan horrible. Cuando yo llevo a mi niño apenas me tocó, ¿verdad? Este año llevarlo a la high school, se meten, para saltarse carros, se meten sobre del fil y empolvan, hacen una contaminación tan grande que a los estudiantes les puede dar valley fever por tanta cosa por tanto tierra que suelta. No sé si el programa del aire pueda poner como pósters. Ya ves los pósters de fierro que protegen a veces como gas y cosas así. No sé si hay ese tipo de programa en el aire para poner pósters, porque aquí junto de la high school, la verdad que feo que no respeten las criaturas. Y hay mucho contaminación en el polvo del fil, que los niños se lo están absorbiendo así bien feo.
Thank you, Joanna. I see Stephanie unmuted. Go ahead.
This is Stephanie. Thank you so much, Joanna, for your comment. I'm curious, as you're saying this, I'm curious if you know around what area is this, if this, you can tell me if this is around Arvin High School and if there's a specific road, because I'd just be curious about what land that they're driving on and whether or not maybe it's a specific grower that we can work with. If it's someone, that I'd just be curious if there's someone that an agency or whoever owns the land that we could work with and talk to them a little bit more about this road and that it's creating dust. So if you can share, if you have a little bit more information that you can share with me about that, I'm happy to look into it.
Si es enfrente, a un lado de la high school tiene, a los alrededores tiene files y la gente por no esperar el stop se mete al fil y hace feo que contamina, que si fueran sus hijos los que fueran caminando no hicieran eso. Y hasta hace poquito pusieron un policía a cuidar para que no lo hagan, pero cuando no está el policía lo hacen.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that feedback. We'll follow up on that and see, what options there are around maybe identifying who owns that and if there's strategies to get folks to not drive through some of those fields. Thanks, Joanna.
Gracias por tomar en cuenta el comentario.
This is Liz, and thank you so much, Joanna, for sharing your comment in this space. I see another hand up from Francisco. Go ahead.
Tocante al problema ese de la tierra, yo les voy a decir en qué calle es. Es en la Bar City, rumbo al Tejón, pasando la Campas. Es la Bar City, la Campas, yendo rumbo al Tejón. Ahí está el fil de las almendras y por ahí es por donde se meten. No, enfrente está la alfalfa.
Es enfrente de la iglesia que vamos a tener la meeting mañana. En esta mera esquina están los files.
Ok, muchas gracias.
Necesito tomar unos fotos y mandársela.
Thank you. This is Liz. I think sounds like we have a good idea of where exactly that complaint is. And sounds like the Air District will do some investigating and we can expect to hear some follow-up around that. And again, thank you everyone for raising those concerns in this space. If there are no other comments or questions, I think we can officially close out this item and transition to our standing updates. And I will pass it to Amy.
Thank you, Liz. This is Amy. Good evening, everyone. Super excited to see you all tomorrow. So we're about to wrap up tonight's meeting. And before we do that, we want to make sure that we provide some space for agencies and community members to provide updates on events and activities happening in the community. So to start off tonight's updates, we're going to pass it to the Air District to provide us some updates with current events. Stephanie?
Thanks, Amy. This is Stephanie. I'll start off. I have a couple of updates about, I know, some measures that folks are interested in, but I will kick us off. I know a few folks have mentioned it, and I know I've said it before, but I'm so excited. Tomorrow evening, we will be in the community at Faro Church. I know it'll be some back-to-back kind of evenings that you'll be spending with us, but we are so excited to be hosting what we're calling Pathways to Cleaner Air, a community town hall. We have invited really, and if you have any friends or neighbors that, don't know about the event that you think could benefit, we definitely still encourage you to invite folks. But really kind of the goal of this evening will be to connect with folks about kind of all the work that we're doing through the AB 617 program, all of the work that you've done to identify these programs for especially residents to take advantage of. So some of the things that we'll have as a part of the event is we are going to share some of the air quality information that we have, and also bring together lots of different resources and vendors through a vendor fair. So we'll have lots of other partner agencies with us. The Department of Pesticide Regulation will be there. We'll also have lots of folks representing the Kern area, like Kern County Public Works, Kern Transit. We will have the Community College District, and also some fun signups that we will be kicking off tomorrow. The people that go to the event will be kind of first in line as we are kicking off the signups for the November 8th mower event that's happening at Arvin High School. We are starting the signups tomorrow night. The portal's opening that night for all the people that want to join and sign up. And like Sarah mentioned earlier, we're really hoping, fingers crossed, that we'll also be opening our Clean Air Rooms program for the free air purifiers tomorrow night as well. So I know that you all in this meeting have an opportunity to talk to us every single month about air quality topics. A lot of you are aware of lots of programs that we have, but there'll still be lots of fun things for you all to take advantage of. And I think it'll be a really awesome way for you all to get to share the work that you do with us in AB 617 for all those in the community that don't participate in AB 617. So we're really looking forward to it. It will be at Faro Church tomorrow from 5 to 7. If you have any questions at all, please feel free to reach out to myself, to Sarah, to Nancy. We're really looking forward to it. And we really hugely thank the City of Arvin, Christine, and Mayor Olivia for helping us kind of co-host this event and bring all of these resources to you all. Before I move on to the other update I did want to pause to see if anyone has any questions about the event. I'm really quickly actually going to share my screen as well, just to share the flyer with you all. So again, tomorrow night, 5 to 7 at Faro Church. And here's the Spanish. If anyone wants a couple of these flyers, we're happy to email them to you. If there's anyone that you think, hasn't received it, just let us know. In addition to that update, I do want to share a couple of updates regarding our vegetative barriers measure. I know it's something that we've all eagerly been awaiting, and I just want to assure you all that it's something that we've been working on now since folks came towards the beginning of the year. It's pretty much something we've been actively working with the applicant Hyphae on. Pretty much every single month we've connected with them to, try and provide updates to the proposal. We just met with them, I believe, 2 weeks ago, and what we're really excited about is they are finalizing a presentation and hoping to bring that updated presentation to our October meeting. So I just wanted to share that update that hopefully soon here we'll be able to share some updates on the proposal and be able to discuss more about a measure that I know is really highly prioritized by community members. And I did just want to let folks know, I mentioned it in the last meeting, but we are finalizing our urban greening our urban greening request for proposal as well, to hopefully be ready to release soon as well. Those are all the updates that I have on the Air District side. Happy to take any questions. If not, I will pass back to Amy.
Amy, thank you, Stephanie. I'll just give it one more second to see if anybody has any questions. So we hope to see everyone there. Tomorrow we'll be there in person. Our team will be there as well. So you'll see Liz and I in person as well. That alone should be reason to attend. Just kidding. Well, as you are thinking about all the updates that the Air District shared, please feel free to raise your hand with any questions that you may have. In the meantime, we'll transition to allow some space for Carb to provide any updates. I see Michelle has joined on camera, so go ahead, Michelle.
First, I'll check and see if I'm echoing or something weird tonight. Seems like I always have bad luck for these. Okay, good.
Sounds great tonight, Michelle.
Okay, good. This is Michelle Byers, and I am your state representative, your liaison with the state. So, primarily that's mobile sources and stuff, but I am always here and available to talk to you all about anything you've got going on. And I am looking forward to seeing many of you tomorrow night. I don't really have any other specific updates, but I'm always here for questions. I will also drop my phone number actually in the chat too, in case anybody wants to chat with me. I'll have a 4-hour drive tomorrow, so please call me.
This is Amy. Thank you, Michelle. Any other agencies who would like to give an update tonight? We see a lot of community organizations here tonight and other folks. This will be your time to shine. All right, well, I'm not seeing anyone eager to share any other updates about events happening in the community. So at this time, we're going to transition to wrapping up the meeting. Oh, go ahead, Mario.
Yeah, I want to talk about the orchards a little bit because I made a complaint like a couple of days back for Sunset right here in Sunset School. There was picking up the almonds right there and a lot of dust when school was in. And I called it in and I was asking the person, I go, they didn't have no signage out there explaining, with all this dust, especially when school was in. And what I noticed that the school was neither notified of all this dust was going towards the school. And I feel that we should figure out a rule and regulations on that manner, because the reason is on school time, they should not be, picking up the almonds or anything, especially when school's in. And, a while, what was it, less than maybe a year ago, had the same type of problem at Sunset Camp when it was burning wood at that same location. And I wanted to know, we have to figure out a way to change the rules on what's going on because they didn't even know they had to get permission to, to do what they was doing. And I felt the school should have been notified.
Thank you for sharing that concern, Mario.
Okay.
You know,
All right.
This is Stephanie. Can I respond really quickly? Thanks, Mario, for your question. And I just want to thank Mario because Mario did exactly as I hope you all feel comfortable doing, which is it sounds like you called in a complaint to the Air District. Um, One, I just can't emphasize enough how important that is because that allows us to know that, you all are the eyes of the community and see these things happening. So as you all, submit these air quality complaints to us, we number one, prioritize all of these public complaints that we get, kind of all the things that we have on our enforcement team has on their plate. We prioritize at the top is kind of responding to things that we hear from you all in the community. We actually had a couple of other, complaints that we heard also around Arvin High School that our team responded to just a couple of weeks ago too. And so I just want to thank everyone for kind of letting us know about your concerns, because once you do that, that's something that allows us to kind of, you want to investigate, make sure that they are kind of following, again, Mario, to your point, we're following kind of the rules that we have related to kind of we talked about it in the last meeting too, kind of our conservation management practices rules. Also, it's a really great opportunity for us to talk to to that grower, to that individual about some of the programs that we have. So we actually did outreach about our low dust nut harvester program. And so our team, when they go out, will check all of that, making sure that they're following the rules that they should be doing, encouraging them to apply to the programs that we have to reduce the dust. And we also will try hard to work with them as we hear community concerns. So you mentioned kind of that harvesting was happening during the daytime. There are overall, I will say that in all of kind of the interactions that we've been having, especially in this past harvesting season, a lot of the growers that we have been working with have been super accommodating and wanting to make sure that they're not impacting the community to the extent that they can be. Some of these harvesting activities, these harvesting activities are happening during the daytime because they do need the almonds to be at a certain temperature. It needs to be warm enough for them to be able to harvest, because otherwise, if it's not at that ideal temperature, it kind of ruins the crop that they're trying to get. But there are opportunities for us to work with these growers to even adjust some of that timing. I think if it's safe and it's something that they can make sure that when their staff is out at the fields, that they're being safe. We have had certain growers let us know that they can try and do things a little bit, earlier or a little bit later at night. So these are all opportunities that we have to, start these conversations with the growers when you kind of let us know about your air quality concerns. So I don't know the exact details of what happened with the complaint you put in, Mario. I can certainly look into that, but those are all, one, you did the right thing by submitting. I appreciate you for always kind of reaching out to us. And there are just a lot of great opportunities for us to continue to figure out ways that we can, all work together to reduce the dust in the community as this harvest season is happening.
thank you. And I see Mario raised his hand again. Do you have a follow-up to that, Mario, before I go to Estela?
Yeah, the only thing is that if they could at least respect a little bit where the schools are at, knowing when schools are, open and stuff like that, maybe we wouldn't have this type of problem. But the fields are out there won't be no problem, where there's no houses or nothing, but they're doing all the harvesting when they're next to a school. They should think about a time or maybe use these low dust machine, because I heard they were real good. That's what I heard. I never seen it work, but I talked to a couple people about them, They say they are doing a great job and don't make that much dust. But it's like I said, they have to at least respect like the school, like Arvin High, and right there close to Sunset Camp, and wherever almonds, whatever fields is there, not to make too much dust. You know, I think that they should change the rules and regulations to try to help out our environments next to our schools. That's all I want to speak.
Yeah, thank you, Mario, for voicing your concern, and it is definitely noted. Estela, please go ahead.
Sí, buenas tardes a todos. Pues solamente yo quiero dar mi comentario acerca de esto, que no es de ahorita, tenemos años quejándonos de ese polvo contaminado. Ahorita, como lo acaba de decir Stephanie, los rancheros protegen su producto, protegen su almendra de cosecharla temprano porque por X razones, ¿verdad? Protegen su producto. Pero ¿quién protege a la comunidad? ¿Quién protege a todos esos niños que están absorbiendo todo ese aire contaminado? Esos rancheros tienen que pensar también en nosotros, en la comunidad. Por eso es que estamos pidiendo las barreras vegetativas. Por eso es que estamos diciendo que queremos esas barreras para que nos protejan. Y los rancheros también tienen que tomar conciencia. Y el distrito, si se puede comunicar con ellos o el comisionado de Agricultura, de decirles eso, de que tomen eso en cuenta, que ellos protegen su producto, ellos protegen su almendra, y quién nos protege a nosotros. Entonces, ¿por qué no ponernos de acuerdo ellos con la comunidad para que nos ayuden a que se pongan esas barreras vegetativas? Ahora aquí en la Comanche, en la escuela que está pasando la avenida, ya los salones de clases van a quedar más cercas a la avenida porque ya hicieron más salones de clases y están más pegados a la carretera de la Comanche. Entonces esos niños, por más de que tengan las puertas cerradas, por más de que no los dejen salir, el aire va a penetrar hasta por los filtros que tienen para los salones. Entonces yo pienso que tenemos que tomar conciencia y tiene que haber regulaciones para esos rancheros que solamente piensan en su producto. ¿Y en nosotros quién piensa? Yo pienso que tienen que pensar, tanto las instituciones, el gobierno, todos tienen que pensar en la comunidad y en los niños, en esos niños que están absorbiendo todo ese contaminante y que nos ayuden a darle seguimiento a que lo que pedimos no es la gran cosa, son barreras vegetativas para que nos ayuden a protegernos de esa contaminación. Y aún así no quieren aplicar, pero sí quieren proteger sus productos, ¿verdad? Entonces yo pienso que aquí es cuestión nada más de analizar y de ver la situación, de que ellos protejan su producto y nosotros protegemos nuestra salud. Ese es mi comentario y solamente quería hacer ese comentario con ustedes. Gracias.
This is Amy. Thank you so much, Estela, for making that comment. It's really important to continue to stay focused on the goals of AB 617, the goals that you have as a resident being engaged in this process, and ensure that there is some accountability and in the implementation of not just the vegetative barriers measures, but also other measures as well. So this is the perfect transition to our next meeting. So tomorrow you'll have the opportunity to bring in other residents who maybe have never participated in an AB 617 meeting, but your neighbors, your friends, your family, folks that live in the community who need to be connected to resources to better improve their air quality. So tomorrow, as the Air District has already mentioned, tomorrow will be the Pathways to Cleaner Air Community Town Hall meeting. That is tomorrow, September 25th, from 5 to 7 at Farlow Church. In addition to that, we have our traditional agenda setting meeting that will be scheduled next week, October 2nd, from 4 to 5. We really appreciate when you all show up and provide your insights and really ensure that you have a voice in how these meetings are shaped and the topics that are included in each of the meetings that are hosted. And then our actual next CSC meeting will be scheduled for October 22nd at the same time from 5 to 7 and also via Zoom. So as a reminder, we will see you tomorrow in person. It is not a CSC meeting. It is an Pathways to Cleaner Air Community Town Hall meeting, where you will have an opportunity to connect to resources and actually have the opportunity to participate in a lot of activities that will be hosted there. We hope to be able to see you in person and get to connect with you that way. At this time, we will transition to public comment. I'm looking to see if we have any comments on our YouTube channel, and I'm not seeing any comments there. Any other comments that folks have that you'd like to make at this time?
Yeah, I got a comment. I was trying to keep my hand up there.
Go ahead, Mario.
Yeah, I made a report on people swimming in canals.
Oh, right, yes.
And I sent pictures of it. I thought this meeting was going to talk about it, or I don't know if you guys hold back on that, or
Yeah, no, I'm glad that you brought that up. I have in my notes, we heard DPR is not here tonight, so Department of Pesticide Regulation to provide some follow-up on that. We will invite them to the next meeting to ensure that they have some response. And I see Stephanie has raised her hand.
yeah,
I'll go to you, Stephanie, and then to Lorena. So if we can get a response from Stephanie first, Mario, that would be great.
yeah, because too, not only that, people are fishing in the canals where pesticides are at, and they're eating the fish in the canals.
Yeah, that is, make sure to report that as well. Definitely problematic, Mario. So I'm going to pass it to Stephanie to provide an update, but the formal update from DPR is yet to come. So we're hoping that they'll attend the next meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stephanie, go
Yeah,
ahead.
Mario, this is Stephanie. Thanks for following up. I just wanted to let you know, I just talked to DPR even just yesterday and today about this, and I just want to let you know that they're actively working on it. They have folks on their team that are following up on it. So I just want to let you know they're working on it, and we'll hope to have you a response soon.
Thank you.
Lorena, go ahead.
Sí, buenas tardes. Un comentario. No sé, los residentes de Lamont, si han notado que otra vez es como una vez o por lo mucho 2 veces a la semana que ahí por la Panama Road otra vez huele en la mañanitita feo, porque yo a veces llevo a mi niño como 5:30, por tarde 6 de la mañana a cuidar por allí y se expira un aroma fea como antes, cuando recuerdan que estaban regando con aguas negras. No sé si ya están otra vez regando igual o lo están haciendo en la noche y no todos los días, porque les digo, es como 1 o 2 veces a la semana que se expira ese aroma. Nada más ese era mi comentario, no sé si alguien sepa de algo.
Thank you so much, Lorena. And I'll pass it to the Air District and remind you and encourage you and all residents to report all the things that you hear. I see Stephanie has her hand raised. Stephanie, go ahead.
Thanks, Amy. This is Stephanie. Thank you, Lorena, for your comment. Amy took the words out of my mouth. Number 1 is if you can please report those odor complaints to us. That's super, super helpful because that means that our team can get out and investigate as soon as possible. When you kind of, I've mentioned it before, but if you kind of, you smell it outside and then maybe it kind of slips your mind and you come back like maybe the next day and you're like, oh, I want to follow up on that. That's harder for us because if you can let us know right when it's happening, our team tries to get out as soon as possible so they can verify that and also experience and smell what you're experiencing. And then Lorena, I just wanted to see if maybe I heard Panama Road. If you have a cross street, you can let me know. That would be super helpful because I do know that we've heard from some other community members kind of some concerns about smell. And so I also am looking to coordinate with our monitoring team to see whether or not it's something that our mobile van can go out to also try and get a better sense of what's going on in this area. this is Stephanie. Sorry, Lorena. I heard Panama Road. Is there a cross street that you can let me know of the area?
Está entre Panama Road 184 o Panama Road y Edison. ¿184 o entre Panama Road y Edison son las que están más cerquitas?
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Stephanie, for that. At this time, I'd like to invite Bianca and Cesar for any closing remarks. I saw Bianca earlier. I don't think I've seen Cesar tonight. Okay, I think Bianca and Cesar are not with us this evening. So I'd like to, at this point, transition to reading out the action items that I almost skipped. Will you share your screen, Liz? Or for some reason. Thank you, Liz. So as you know, we write these down as we go. So there might be some edits or mistakes that you catch as we read them aloud. So if there's anything that you would like to see changed, please, we invite you to raise your hand or put it in the chat and we can make modifications. So first off, thank you so much, Caltrans, for your comprehensive update today. It sounds like you've signed yourself up for a lot more updates and to join us for future meetings. So our first action item is that Caltrans will provide an update on projects currently within the boundary, on projects happening currently during the boundary. And then CSC members will schedule time for Caltrans to visit the community and confirm locations of ongoing Caltrans road paving and infrastructure projects within the boundary. So that'll be a meeting that will happen together. And then Caltrans will provide an update on the status of vehicle sensors on major intersections that were discussed today. And then Caltrans will provide an update on flood mitigation projects. And lastly, the Air District will follow up on air pollution concerns related to the fields around Arvin High School across from the Faro Church. And I think those are all the action items we captured tonight. Any other action items that we missed that you may have mentioned? Mario, go ahead.
Yes, I want to mention on when they move the pesticides on barrels, big barrels on different locations, they don't even have signage on those barrels when they're moving them. I want, let's see if DBR could give me any information on that part, any rules and regulations on that part.
This is Amy, an update on rules and regulations related to the transportation of pesticides?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I've seen a lot of trucks moving pesticides and they don't even have a signage on it or saying that label saying it's flammable or nothing like that.
Okay, so we will ask DPR for an update on the rules and regulations and enforcement for correctly labeling the transportation of pesticides.
Yeah, from field to field. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Well, at this time, I'd like to invite the Air District for any closing remarks.
Thanks so much, Amy. I appreciate everyone for providing the feedback that you have tonight. Lots of action items for us and other agencies to follow up on. And I just, again, wanted to share my huge excitement, and I hope to see really everyone in this group tomorrow at the meeting. Bring all your friends, bring your family. and come learn about some fun air quality knowledge and connect with all of the agencies that are kind of in the current area.
Amy, thank you so much, Stephanie. Looking forward to seeing everyone in person tomorrow. Hope you all can make it. We are always impressed with the amount of commitment and your engagement that you bring to each of these meetings. It's 6:41. I think this is a historic moment. We are gifting you back 19 minutes. So go enjoy your evening and rest up so that we can come refreshed to the in-person meeting tomorrow. Have a good night, everyone. Be safe.
Good night, everyone.
Buenas noches, gracias.
Buenas noches, gracias a todos.
Buenas noches, feliz noche
Buenas
para
noches.
todos.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.
Buenas noches.